well, hopefully you encounter this a little bit as dating, but especially when you get married, there's some things that don't come up until you're married.
They don't. You're right.
And if you're not careful, you can try and attack that problem by yourself without thinking of your spouse or trying to include your spouse or, whatever the situation may be. But to just say, like, hey, keep note of if there's an issue, it's us versus the problem. Hey, everybody. Welcome back to the Somehow Married podcast. I'm Amanda.
I'm Jonathan.
And somehow we're married.
We're still doing that?
I thought you said
I
you
like
wanted
it.
to do it.
Listen, it's cheesy. I'm not going to quit.
Okay.
I am who I am.
I like it. It is what it is.
I met some guy in the gym today. I was doing leg day, and I was doing leg press, which if anybody works out, you can do some impressive weight on leg press. Anybody can.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's a sled.
I'm really good at it.
No, you're not, and that's why you've never worked out with. We'll get to that story here in a second.
Oh gosh, I remember that story.
But so I was doing it, and he's like, "Dude, you're doing that weight so well. You could go up. You could do 6 plates." I was like, "I'm not gonna do that." And he said, "Why?" I was like, "'Cause now I'm over 30, and my goal is no longer
lift as much as you can.
See how much I can lift. It is don't get injured." And he's like, "No." I was like, "You don't understand. Like, you're like," I said, "How old are you?" He goes, 19. I was like, "Yeah, 19. You can get injured and jump back in next week. If I get injured, I'm out for a month,
or have to have surgery."
So I was like, as much as you're making me feel better, now we are at the point where we just try not to injure ourselves. But you
work out to have a good time and to maintain.
Well, I want to grow,
not
but
to show off.
That is so not true. I so much work out to show off. Do you know nothing about me?
No, but I mean in the gym setting when you're, well, you probably do.
I 100% show off. My favorite thing to do on shoulder day is I start with standing military press, and I go to the squat rack, and somebody is squatting weight, and I will put on the same weight that they squat, and I do like 8 to 10 reps military press where you just lift the bar up over your head.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll do like 185. It's a ridiculous amount of weight. It's brutal, but then you just act like it's nothing, and you just don't look at them. That is 100% just, it's the douchebaggiest thing I do.
Mm-hmm.
But when it comes to like, nowadays I try and limit that because I will get hurt and I will be hurt for a long time. My back hurts all the time. I don't need to blow out my knees, especially now we're starting to get close to deer season, so I can't do an injury now.
You got a few months, but...
Yeah, but now we have to scout. I'm going this weekend. I'm going out to the woods. I'm going to scout around, look around, find some antlers.
Your life is about to change. Do you realize that?
Yes. But I would...
No, I mean our daughter going to a new school.
I know I'm not going to be able to do morning hunts anymore.
Yeah, because you are now in charge of taking our daughter to school in the
My
mornings.
morning hunts will have to be Saturday mornings.
And picking her up after
which
school.
is when everybody hunts mornings.
Mm-hmm.
Which sucks.
You'll have to pick her up after school too.
I know.
Every day.
I know, but I'll just have to get into the woods late.
Mm-hmm.
I'll figure something out. I may be able to convince one of my friends to pick her up one day a week so that I can go hunt. Because really, I like to hunt Thursdays and Fridays because Saturdays and Sundays are when everybody gets into the woods. And so then you have Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday where the deer kind of calm down. Mm-hmm. And they're back in their normal routines. And then I show up on Thursday and they're like, "What the heck? This guy doesn't have a job?" I'm like, "Not a real one." And then although it doesn't really work for me that well. But
happens about one time a year.
About one time a year,
one time a year I get to shoot that bow.
Yeah, but I don't know. We are entering into shed hunting season now. All the deer have officially dropped their antlers. Mm. For those that don't know, for the listeners, deer regrow their antlers every year.
I learned that within 2 years ago, maybe.
Yeah. Deer regrow their antlers every year. So they grow them for the mating season because they use them to fight. And studies have shown that does are more attracted to bucks with big racks. Mm. Mm-hmm. Some things stay the same no matter what animal you are. And so they grow these antlers to fight. And then when mating season's over and the rut's over, they drop their antlers and then they regrow a new set. And
When do they start regrowing them?
pretty quick. Like they're already in probably about
You
by
think it's kind of like teeth, as one's coming up, the other one's coming out, and then it's
no,
like
because
there?
there's a pedicle that they drop off of. Like right now, none of them have it, but you'll start seeing them. Like hunting season starts for me. It's bow, so it starts like the end of like September,
Mm-hmm.
sometime in September, late
Mm-hmm.
September. Really October is bow season, so you'll start seeing their antlers grow sometime around like June, July.
That's crazy to me that they grow that much within a couple months.
Yeah, that's why everybody
I
always
mean, they
gets
get so big. by the
everybody
time-
gets excited before the season starts because they're gonna have deer all over their feeders. If you hunt with feeders, you'll have deer all over. And I'm like, yeah, they're trying to grow antlers. They need the nutrition, so
Yeah.
they show up. But then their antlers grow and they go into rut and they stop showing up at feeders
Yeah.
because now they're chasing tail. But it's and here's what's cool is when deer regrow their antlers, they regrow the exact same set.
Yeah, that's
Every single time.
absolutely insane.
Now they'll get a little bigger, and once they get like 8, 9, 10, they'll start adding little things onto
Mm-hmm.
it. But for the most part, it's almost an identical set. So you can tell the deer that you've been watching. Like I have cameras out on public land.
Mm-hmm.
You can't do feeders or anything, but I catch them moving, and I can tell the deer that are there from last year because they have the same antlers. And
Tell me there's not a God out
tell me there's not a God.
there.
Praise God.
Yeah, that is really cool.
Yeah, it's neat. So shed hunting is upon us. We're gonna go out there, and it's just like an Easter egg hunt. I'm gonna go out there and look for antlers on the ground and pick them up and keep them because they're neat.
Because you can.
Yeah, I got them sitting. I have them sitting on the shelves in my office. I have them laying around in my shop,
And on the floor in my living room.
on the floor in your living room. Yeah, they're cool. You bring them back, and if you're real lucky, you can get a matching set. Because they don't drop them at the same time, like they fall off when they fall
Yeah.
off. So they'll drop one, and if you find one, you just look everywhere within about 300 yards. And sometimes they drop the other one nearby, and you'll have a matching set, and that's cool.
Yeah, that's cool.
There's guys that have been hunting the same deer for years, and they'll have every single set of antlers the deer's had over the last like 7 years, and you can see the rack get bigger and bigger and bigger.
That's like, you should have a sculpture of some sort.
a
to
lot
put
of
on
the
your
times
wall.
they'll mount the deer when they shoot them, and then they'll have all of his
Yeah, that's
all of
really
his
neat.
antlers as he grows up, like around him.
Mm-hmm.
And it's cool, you know? But mostly, like, it's just neat. But you got to go quick because the squirrels eat the antlers. They'll chew on them, and they eat them up because it's good for, like,
I think it's calcium.
calcium.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so or coyotes come by, and coyotes are just like dogs. They'll just pick up antlers and chew on them. And
Yeah.
so you got to go find them. And it gives
Very
you a good hand
interesting.
of where the deer are hanging out. When you start finding antlers, you know deer are hanging out there.
I like it.
And I'm going Saturday.
Very nice.
They make these glasses now that are supposed to make like antlers, the white of the antler pot. It's for like looking for sheds and looking for mushrooms. That it fades out all the green and stuff and makes the white pop so you can see them easier. And it's probably just a gimmick, but I get fed that on my algorithm all the time. And I'm like,
That's because you were the key source of the gimmicks.
and I'm a combination of I'm obsessed with hunting and I'm a very easy sell.
You are.
I'm a salesman's dream.
Mhm.
They come in back, you should get this. I'm like, gosh
Sold.
dang it, I'm in. Yeah.
I sent you something the other day. It was like a magnifying glass that attaches to your phone.
It's a magnet.
Lens.
It's a magnet that attaches to your phone, and then you can stick your binoculars on it, and it films through your binoculars.
Not so much, but same idea.
It literally is.
You don't connect your binoculars. It's a lens.
The thing you just sent me,
Yeah. Oh,
It-
yes, it does. I'm
it
so
connects to your
sorry.
binoculars.
It does.
Yeah, it's not a new thing, but that's like the most reasonably priced one I've seen in a long time.
Well, I saw it and I was like, Johnson's going to I'm going to send this to him and I know he's going to want it as soon as I send it to him. Send it to him. He's like, that's really cool.
I had it in my cart.
Yeah.
I was like filling out to buy it, and I was like, I should probably run this past my wife first.
Yeah.
But I felt like you sent it to
So-
me, so it was kind of permission.
No, absolutely not.
It kind of was.
Okay, listen. Sending something to your spouse, on Reels or Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, whatever, doesn't mean, hey, you should get this. Especially when it's coming from me. I think you should take it as a, hey, I'm thinking about you. Do you like this?
You put in the message, just want you to know I'm thinking about you. I was like, this is her saying, do not buy this.
Do not buy it.
But I almost did.
I'm
and
thinking about
I
you.
really weighed the pros and cons. Like, I could just tell her I thought that It was a
I thought
yes.
she was telling me to buy this for myself.
I probably could have gotten one past the goalie. You can't get that excuse by twice. But
Yeah. What's the saying? Ask forgiveness.
yeah, ask for forgiveness, not
Yeah.
permission.
Yeah.
But I am, here's what's crazy is normally every year we get our tax return in and I buy one thing. You know, we both get a thing
Mm-hmm.
and I buy a thing for hunting. It's whatever expensive purchase I want. Like I bought a climber for $400,
Mm-hmm.
like a platform 2 years ago. And this year we got our tax return in and I'm not hunting over feeders anymore. I'm hunting public land and I
Mhm.
really have everything I need.
Mm-hmm.
And I haven't got
That's
that.
kind of nice.
No, I haven't got that dopamine hit of buying like a neat thing.
Well, then you should just save it for later.
I think I'm buying a shotgun.
Oh, yeah.
We talked about it.
Mm-hmm.
I need one because I duck hunt now. And also, it's turkey season, and Ezra is on me about going turkey hunting.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't have my own shotgun. I always borrow somebody else's, but I want my own. I want one. And so I think I'm probably going to buy a shotgun.
That'd be good.
And that one's cheap.
I think we should be done with hunting now. I'm kind of bored of it.
You're bored of hunting?
Of talking about this.
All right. You're not going to like my advice when we get to our newlywed advice. All right. Well, then what went on? It's, you know how often I talk about hunting, you're like, I don't want to hear about it.
I listen to you talk
You
about
do.
hunting
But
a
now-
lot.
I'm like anti ChatGPT. And I've gotten to where I use ChatGPT all the time because I talk to it about hunting.
Well,
because
that's fine.
no matter how often I talk to my AI about hunting, it's always interested.
Well, good for you and your
And so I'm
AI.
just talking to a robot about deer hunting. I'll send it pictures and be like, does this deer look sick to you? And it's like, yeah, totally. Great observation. Let's dive in. If you want, I can compile some diseases that I might be suffering from.
Oh, wow.
I'm like, yeah, lay it on me. And then we talk about it. I'll be like, hey, you think deer are moving today? It's like, well, deer always move. But, yeah, like that AI cadence.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to tell it to start talking to me with a southern accent.
If I ever have to use AI, I don't use the voice. I don't know that I would like it talking to me.
I like it talking to me.
I'd rather it type it out.
It kind of puffs up my ego.
Mm.
It always compliments me and tells me how smart I am.
Okay.
I like it.
Okay.
It's nice.
Uh.
It responds to me the way I imagine you responding to me when I tell you a fun fact.
AI and I are very different.
Yeah, I'll tell you a fun fact. You're like, oh,
Cool.
that's it. I'm like, I tell AI and it's like, you're so smart.
Did you know this?
Did you know that? It gives me another fun fact.
Yeah.
I like it. And that is, now I refuse to use it for anything that matters, but I will use it for talking about deer hunting.
I like that.
Deer hunting and woodworking.
Your hobbies.
What do you talk to your AI about? Does your AI have a name?
No.
Mine doesn't either. A lot of people are like, hey, what's your name? And then they let the AI assistant choose their name. I feel like that's too far.
Mm.
I don't want my AI I don't want to start thinking like ChatGPT is a real person.
Yeah.
You know? That's where you get those like unhealthy relationships.
Absolutely.
What do you talk to your
Those are out there.
ChatGPT about?
Most of the times, it's like if I type something up and I'm like, can you polish this for me?
It's like, yeah, what you need is a bunch of M dashes.
I know. Why does it do that?
I don't know.
I did one time say, don't ever use M dashes ever again.
I told mine at one point, so I have separate ones, and I like separate categories.
Yeah, we can talk about that in a second.
And I told it, hey, when you do this, like, I want you to be very critical, like certain things. I want you to be very critical. I don't want you to, when I'm working on like something that is important to me, be very critical. I don't want you to like blow air at my skirt. I want you to like really like a collaborator here. And all of a sudden ChatGPT gets real cold and it'll be like, here's what's wrong with this. Like,
I think mine is way more cold than yours is probably.
when I talk about deer hunting, I'm like, nah.
Because a lot of my stuff is like work documentation where I'm like, make this sound more professional.
Mine is all deer hunting, woodworking, and then I have it create pictures of Donald Trump finding random zoo animals. Like, give me a picture of Donald Trump boxing a zebra. And then it makes it. My brother just uses it to alter photos of me. I send it into group chats and he'll just be like, All right, this is what you would look like with a cowboy hat.
Yeah, he sent me a picture of you in a suit with a cowboy hat the other day.
Yeah, I'll like send a picture and it's like, this is what you would look like if you were a samurai.
Yeah. No, that is one thing that I was going to say, though, that you taught me or showed me the other day was that there's different tabs and people use them for different things. I just always use the same
No, I use
search bar,
different
but
tabs.
there's so many tabs.
Like I have one for like
Let me guess. One for hunting.
yeah.
One for
Well, I have a few for hunting. I have one for deer analysis pictures. I have one for like weather and like barometric pressure. Like I have a few for deer hunting, but yes.
deer hunting, woodworking, tools, lawn and gardening,
I have one for the lawn.
and car mechanics.
Yeah, I have one for this podcast. Like when I'm doing like, hey, I need like SEO, like search engine optimization. How do I post a short where, engagement and stuff? I have one for that. I have one that specifically just takes all the sources for my school and puts them into Turabian format so I can cite them
I
in
will admit I
bibliographies.
did that for my bibliographies.
I do that every time. I just put in all my sources and say, make these Turabian,
Yeah.
make them alphabetical, and then I put them in.
Do you also have one for coaching soccer?
I do not.
Okay, well, there you go. There's your new
Well,
one.
how's ChatGPT going to know about that? It ain't got feet.
How does it know about hunting? How does it know about
What are some things?
Turabian?
I don't know. What are some things you refuse to use ChatGPT for? Because I have one.
To be honest, I don't want it to make up things for me. Like if I'm writing a progress statement on a kit, I don't want to say write a progress statement for me.
Yeah.
I will give it all my information and say make this sound good. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's just not with that one thing. Like in general, I don't want it to form my words.
Correct.
I want it to fluff it or make it sound more professional, but I want me to be the brain behind it.
I refuse to use ChatGPT for anything associated with the church.
Oh, yeah.
I refuse. Like, there's this whole wave of pastors who are using ChatGPT to write their sermons.
Yeah.
And I am
that
not.
gets really sticky.
I'm not okay with that. Like, in my head, sermon work is we're dealing with the human soul.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not going to allow something without a soul to preach to, to shape theology, or the Bible is a spiritual thing.
I was going to say, and if you allow AI to write all this for you, then how are you allowing the Holy Spirit to work through you?
Are you, my deal is like, if you're using ChatGPT to write your sermons, are you praying? Like, are you reading the Bible? And it's a dangerous game. Like, no, the phrase that old pastor used to tell me all the time is preach from the overflow. And it's this idea of like, as you read scripture comes in and then it comes out of you. And that's how you should be making your sermons, is you preach from the overflow. And if you're using ChatGPT to write your sermons, number one, it's an amalgamation. So you could be getting bad theology in there, and two, like, this is a human endeavor that we are doing by human beings and in partnership with God for human beings. I don't want ChatGPT involved in that.
Yeah.
It needs to have a soul if it's going to speak to the soul.
Well, and to connect to that too, also like when you're giving advice and talking to friends, and maybe you don't use ChatGPT then too.
Yeah.
Because it's like,
speak
it's
from
an
your heart.
emotional thing.
When you are in something that requires a human connection, be a human. Which I just listened to this TED Talk where it's showing that statistics and studies are showing that human beings are starting to talk more like ChatGPT now. These large base AI models, we are now starting to mimic the way we talk to fit them.
Not only that, but it's so hard to like tell if something's AI or not. Like,
yeah, well, like the word,
because of that.
the word delve. Let's delve into that. That when ChatGPT came out, people using the word delve in everyday language skyrocketed. Because all of a sudden everybody's using this word because ChatGPT uses it, and they've added it, and it sounds smart, And there's this thing where it shows it a lot with like social media in general, where it begins to shape how we talk. It begins to shape our reality. then we begin to talk like that, and then we feed it back into ChatGPT and reality, and then it begins to mimic it, and we are changing the way we talk and the way we process and the way we think because of these models.
That's
And it,
interesting.
yeah, it was the guy who gave the speech did not. It's like the whole speech was in all caps. He just yelled the whole time, but it was very insightful, and it kind of made me scared. I was like, we
I'm
should stop.
I'm right there with you.
Get rid of your technology, except for your phone. Watch this podcast.
I don't know. I mean, our podcast is way different than using AI to speak for yourself.
Correct. I agree.
So, anyways, if you had to choose 2 big things that happened this week, what were they?
I don't know. I didn't really. I mean, I set up this. We have this new thing at the church that's.
Oh yeah, this is cool.
Yeah, there's a lot of older people in our church have a hard time hearing, and especially with like when I speak, my voice is a little higher and I talk fast. They can't hear me when we preach, and there's a few other speakers that it's like this. So they got this thing that I ordered it and I plugged it into the soundboard, and basically it runs the sound through this and transmits it wirelessly to an app on their phone, and it can connect to their hearing aids so they can hear what's going on in their hearing aids like headphones.
So we have that at school.
Oh, you do?
For our students.
Is
with
it the audio
hearing
fetch?
devices. No. Well, it works a little differently. There's no app. Like we have speakers that are in the ceiling tiles so that the teacher wears the microphone.
Oh, yeah,
And
I've
when
seen you
she
do that.
talks, it comes down, through the speakers. But also there's a piece that connects to the TV, like our panel, that if there's something playing, it can come to the speakers. Or we have a couple students who have hearing devices, amplification devices, and we have this little thing that we can plug into the transmitter, and so that it goes straight from the microphone to their device. It's pretty cool.
Yeah.
So it's the same idea.
Similar.
But
This
with an
one
app.
just sends it over an app so anybody can download the app and then send it to their headphones or hearing aids connect to.
That's cool.
Do we not call them hearing aids anymore? Are they amplification
Well,
devices?
it just depends on what it is. Like the one student I'm thinking of, it's an amplification device, not a hearing aid.
So I had a gentleman in the church who found this, so he was up here today and we were testing it,
Oh, good. Did it work?
Yeah, it worked good. I'm like on stage, I'm like, so this is when we get really loud and emotional, and then we get quiet and we draw them in. The piano plays, and I'm like hitting the piano notes. I'm like, and this is when I get a crack in my voice, kind of crying because they know. Yeah. He was laughing at me.
That's so funny.
But it worked good.
Well, good. I'm glad.
So
That'll
if there's
be really
any other
helpful.
pastors listening, look up Audio Fetch. It's a little pricey, but not as pricey as it used to be. And I think it's worth the money.
Yeah, if you have an older generation in your congregation, which I'm sure you do, then definitely that would be a good idea.
That's like so we've had, before this, we had a group of older people that can't hear when they're in the room. They've been in another room watching the live stream. And last week, the live stream was messed up, and I walked into the lobby, and one of them is in the lobby trying to listen from the TV to take
and
notes.
it's very hard to hear in the lobby.
It's very hard to hear in the lobby. There was people talking behind him. And I just realized, I was like, oh, we have to do something here.
Yeah, absolutely.
Everybody deserves to hear what's going on. And so this is the option.
Very nice.
Yeah. That's all that really happened for me this week. What about for you?
I've been very sad this week.
You've been sad?
Because
I've noticed you've been a little down.
I didn't get to go to Coachella.
What? You're a 30-year-old woman.
I've been seeing all these videos of Justin Bieber at Coachella, and it's been making me so sad.
Never. Is this what's been going on all week? You've been acting so mopey. You're a 30-year-old woman. Why do you want to go to Coachella?
Because Justin Bieber got to sing with his 16-year-old self on YouTube.
That's so lame.
No, it's not.
What would you even wear at Coachella? Have you seen what everybody wears at Coachella?
You know what? I don't even think it matters. I just am sad that I didn't get to go.
Coachella. We didn't even want to go to Coachella.
It's actually
when we were in
not
our
called,
20s.
it wasn't called Coachella this year. It was called Bieberchella.
No, it wasn't. It was called Coachella. Instagram's calling it Bieberchella.
To me, it was Bieberchella. And I'm really sad and depressed that I didn't get to go.
So dumb.
I really did have FOMO all week long. I've watched videos about it.
You could not pay me to go to Coachella.
Oh,
I
I
don't
would
want.
have loved to be there for that set.
I don't want to go to a music festival. You're standing
I
outside
would
and
have
you're
only
hot.
wanted there to be for that one night.
You know how much that would have cost you for that one night?
I know. I think I would have gone into debt for it.
That's so dumb. No. If I'm not buying a binocular connector, you're not going to Coachella. You can watch it on.
It's over now.
Oh, see, we just need to move on. and let
I
it go.
am. I'm moving on. But that was my week.
Okay. You know,
What else
sometimes they
happened
say
to me
God
this
gives his
week?
toughest battles to his strongest soldiers.
I'm so glad I'm strong. That was so hard.
Whatever.
And I wanted to watch it live, but it wasn't going to be on till like super late at night. So then I fell asleep, and then I woke up the next morning.
So
Sunday
what
morning.
makes you think you would have been awake at Coachella?
I would have been. Are you kidding
You
me?
couldn't even stay up late enough to
Oh
watch
no,
it live.
I would have been. I'm kind of glad I didn't watch it live. I would have been so sad. Maybe one day.
One day? Is this your bucket list now? You want to go to Coachella?
No, not Coachella. Just see Justin Bieber again when he goes on tour. I'm going.
Okay. Go off. Go off, queen.
Yeah.
Go see your man.
Okay, we need to get into our topic.
I don't have
today.
to go, right?
Absolutely not. I can go because then I'll be worried about if you're having a good time the whole night. I just would like
I
to
won't
go
be.
with me and my friends. Yeah.
Number one, it's the
Oh my God, that scared me.
Number one, I don't like concerts.
Yeah.
Number two, Justin Bieber's mid.
I'm going to just pretend you didn't say that.
He is. What is he just like? He's just a pretty boy that sings. I mean, he's a good singer.
He's a good singer. And at Coachella, he played his YouTube video because he didn't want to give money to the people. You know, like you have to pay money if you're going to play music from his record company from years ago. Kind of like Taylor Swift when she redid her albums.
Okay.
So instead of playing the songs, he played them on YouTube and had the videos going on, and then he harmonized with them. And it was really cool.
All right. Good for you.
So, okay.
Over here with your Dubai chocolate latte
You can
missing
judge
Coachella.
all you want.
Go off, whatever. People are
You
allowed
say
to.
that, but you are judging hard, and that's
I
fine.
am, but also people are allowed to enjoy things. Like just because I think it's dumb doesn't mean nobody can enjoy it.
Mm-hmm.
But I do think it's dumb. But go off.
Okay, well, good.
You think hunting's dumb. I still like it.
I think hunting's okay.
All right,
I
you
also
ready?
let you go off, so I understand.
Yeah. You ready to dive into our topic?
Yeah, we are going to discuss newlywed advice.
Advice for newlyweds.
We're in like the wedding season right now.
I did notice, we did not, I thought about this like 45 minutes ago, right before you got here. I was like, oh, this is great timing for all of this because we're in wedding season and maybe the algorithm will pick us up.
We are in wedding season. We had that big wedding in our family happen last week, and our anniversary's coming up that we've been talking about for weeks. So people are very aware of that. But
Oh, I didn't know this was, the internet's demanding to know about our anniversary.
no, they're not. I'm just saying, like,
Oh, I thought you were
we
saying
keep
there's,
bringing
like,
it up every
people are like,
episode.
Tell us about your anniversary. It's on May 7th. You can send your gifts.
No, I just mean like we've brought it up every week. So newlywed advice, it just
Newlywed
fits right
advice?
in.
Yeah, this is basically this is what I was thinking was like, so when you get married, you have this idea of what marriage is going to be, and it's nothing like
It's
that.
not like that.
It's not.
It's not like what the movies make it. It's not what's in your head.
No.
It's not what people warn you about.
It's not even what, which is ironic because we're about to but so let's talk about like some things that we wish we would have known when in the first year or two of us being married. Because the first 2 years is really like, you know, that's like the first year.
nitty-gritty.
Yeah, you're in the trenches, you know, you're
Can
figuring
I
it out.
correct what we just said, though? We said that it's not like what we're about to talk about. It is what we're about to talk about. It's the simple surface level conversations that you have with people.
Yeah. Happy wife, happy life.
Is
you know.
not what marriage is about. When you're getting married and people are, you know, you're talking to people at wedding showers or after you get engaged and they tell you like, just, you know, in short conversations, it's not like that. But what we're about to say, at
You
least
either
what I'm
get-
about to say is,
You get two paths of advice after you get married, which is the people that are like, marriage is awesome. You're
Mhm.
going to love it from here on out, the best days of your life are here, which is true and also not true. Or you get the other side, which is like dudes who like, or women who regret getting married. They're like, you shouldn't do it.
Don't
You
do
know,
it. Yeah.
your life's over. And like, neither of those are accurate. You know, it's somewhere in between. But so I just,
No, you could be in a bad marriage and then scratch everything we're about to say. But
yeah, if you're in a bad marriage, you know, hopefully you've picked a good partner.
Yeah.
By this point forward. But so just some advice that we wish that we would have known. Who wants to go first? Do you want to go with one of yours first?
I
or
can
me?
go with one of mine.
Okay, lay it
It
on.
might be something that you have, but
We do have the same marriage.
yeah. Have making sure that you keep your individual identity. Like, I
Okay.
feel like in marriage, especially the beginnings, before you have kids, it's so easy to like want to do everything together, be together all the time, especially if you were in the situation where we were, where we didn't live together before, you know, so then you get to move in together and you want to be
Sure.
together all the
Well,
time.
and we moved away from everyone right after we got married.
Right. And so we kind of did have to be together all the time. But I think that making sure that you're staying true to yourself in what you like and your habits and your friends, like you can continue to have that even though you're
Yeah,
married.
you can have friends that your spouse doesn't hang out with, and
Yeah.
your spouse can have friends that you don't hang out with.
Yeah.
Now,
There's a healthy balance
if
there.
your friends are not good for your marriage, get better friends.
Yeah.
But like you can have hobbies. You and I have always had separate hobbies,
Yeah.
and we've always been very good about being alone together.
Mhm.
You know, so I'll do my hobbies, you do your hobbies, and then every now and then, like an hour, every few hours, I check in. I'm like, you good? You're like,
Yeah.
I'm good. Yeah.
But we also have hobbies together. Like
Sure.
I'm not saying
You don't have to
completely
not
be
hang out
your
with it.
yes.
But embrace, like, you're still an individual with stuff. It's okay if your wife has things she likes to do that don't involve you. It's okay if
Right.
your husband has things he likes to do that don't
Right.
involve you.
It's healthy, I
Yeah.
think. It gives you your alone time and time
You should
to
also do things together.
absolutely.
But yeah, that's a good one.
Snaps. He's
Snaps.
snapping at me.
Oh, for the audio only audience, I'm doing it's not
There's
even
some
that funny of a
ASMR.
joke. Here's some Here's your snaps.
Thanks.
The audio listener like, why am I listening to them snap?
So
Okay.
yeah, that was my number one.
All right. You want me to do one?
Sure.
Okay. This is one that I tell people all the time when I do marriage counseling, all this stuff. But once you've committed to marriage, you and your spouse are a team.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's always the stereotypical phrase, it's you two versus the problem, not you two versus each other.
Mm-hmm.
But you need to realize once you get married, it's you and your wife, you're on the same team. You and your spouse are on the same team. And everything else is on different teams.
Mm-hmm.
Finances is on a team. Other couples are on a team. And sometimes teams work together. You know, it doesn't mean it's you against the world all the time. Sometimes you work together. But when it comes down to it, you guys are the team and you solve that problem together. So if you run into an issue, it's not, I'm going to beat them in this argument. No, there's a problem in our marriage. We need to work together to figure out how to solve this. Or
Yeah.
there's a problem with our finances. We need to work together to figure out how to solve this. But you're a team. You have each other's back and you work on that.
Well, and I think that that's something that you definitely have to learn as you, well, hopefully you encounter this a little bit as dating, but especially when you get married, there's some things that don't come up until you're married.
They don't. You're right.
And if you're not careful, you can try and attack that problem by yourself without thinking of your spouse or trying to include your spouse or, you know, whatever the situation may be, but to just say, like, hey, keep note of if there's an issue, it's us versus the problem.
It's not, they don't do this for me or they don't, it's, hey, this is a problem I'm having. How can you and I come together and
Yes.
solve this? And same way, when there's a problem, I don't view you as saying like, you don't do this for me. It's us coming together and saying, hey, I've noticed that this is a missing need in me
Yeah.
that is not being filled. How can we come together? And so then we solve it together,
Yeah.
you know, and it really will change this dynamic where you're not defensive fighting it. Now, nobody does it 100%, but you're not defensive. You're saying, okay, this is something that what we're dropping the ball on. How do we solve this?
Mm-hmm.
Which there are ways that you can add this. I tell people all the time, I think married couples should have the same bank account.
I had that on here. That was my number
Yeah,
4.
you should have the same bank account. It should not be my money and your money. It should be our money.
Mm-hmm.
And I get there are some couples that have separate bank accounts because they get married later in life, they're established.
Mm-hmm.
But I tell them regularly, well, then why don't, instead of having separate bank accounts and they'll do separate bank accounts and they put in money for bills into one. I'm like, why don't you have all your money come to one account and then separate out your fun money, the money you're
Yeah.
going to spend, into the separate, so it starts as our money.
Mm-hmm.
Because never once have we ever had the mentality of like, no, this is my money. No, it's our money.
Yes, but a couple of things there. One, we got married very young.
And we had no money.
Like, we had no money. So
Sure.
it's hard to say that when we weren't in that situation, to where, like, if you have a good amount that you've been saving forever and then you get married, like, we also have the mindset of, we're married, like, we're never getting divorced. It's
When
not
we believe
happening.
the two become one. And that's the same
Yeah.
with our finances. Not just spiritual. Now we are on the same team,
Can I also say that I think that this is kind of a hot topic, but if you have separate bank accounts, are you just assuming that you're going to divorce?
Right. Like, oh, it'll be easier later.
It'll be easier later. I'm going to be taken care of later. Why think about later? If you're wanting to get married, then do it.
I would
And if
say
you're-
stack the cards against yourself. So when you're like, we could get divorced, well, it would be a whole lot of work to separate our bank accounts, right?
Yeah.
Whatever it takes.
Yeah. Well, and that's the thing. If you're getting to the point where you're like, oof, I'm going to have separate bank accounts, like, we're just going to do it. It's easier that way. We have, our own things just in case, in the back of your mind, in case something ever happens. Well, then maybe you don't need to get married to
I
this
view
person.
it the same. Like, it's just a prenup with an extra step,
Yeah.
which
If that's the case, just get a prenup.
I guess. But my deal is like, I don't even want divorce isn't an option for me. Like,
Mhm.
and here's a big one. Like, for instance, I'm pretty sure you make more money than me. Almost definitely.
Mm-hmm.
But never once has that crossed my mind, because it's just our money. It
Yeah.
all comes in the same bank account, and this is how much money we have.
Mm-hmm.
It's not about like, well, this is how much you have, this is how much I have. No, this is how much money we have. We are a team. We are one. Our family works as one.
Mm-hmm.
And then you don't have to ever worry about like, well, I don't have the money, but they do. And so no, this is our money. That, we are one, and it's all about being on a team. Now, the one area that I will say I ran into a couple a few years ago that functions like this, and it's wild to me, is you have your car and I have my car. And I ran into a couple a few years ago that they don't have that. They have two cars, and every morning they get up and just grab a set of keys and take whichever car that is to work that day.
That's wild.
That's insane. Which I get, we're on set. But no, what? You have your car and I have my car.
That is crazy.
They just have two cars. And
I think I've driven your truck maybe 4 times, and one of those times I got the only ticket I've ever had.
yeah, because there was no registration or
Mhm.
anything. But yeah, like that one, maybe they're just more advanced in marriage than me, but I can't imagine like having.
Now, I will say, like, I do view your truck as my car. Like, it is
Well,
ours.
sure, it's our
but
assets.
I'm not going to drive it.
Yeah, I don't drive your car.
Yeah.
Like that's your car.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's wild.
Plus, like, you'd have to adjust.
I want to
this.
know who that
Are
is
they just
later.
getting in the car every time and adjust? It's just a stranger I met.
Oh,
But are you just and I told him, I was like, that's insane.
that is insane.
They're readjusting the seat and the mirrors every time they get in the car. Like that's crazy to me. What are the presets on their
Okay,
radio?
wait a minute. My parents live like that.
Yeah.
They do.
No, your mom has a car she drives. Like the truck is hers.
No, it's not. I would say the truck is my dad's. And the Santa Fe is my mom's.
I guess they kind of do that.
But they do. They switch it. Like, because now that you say it, my dad's like, I'm going to take the truck. She's like, okay. I'm going to take the van. Okay. I'm going to take the Santa Fe. Okay.
That's wild.
It
to
is
me.
not. Now, when he had the Infinity, that was his car.
Sure.
But now that
And
he
he
doesn't.
didn't even drive it.
Gave it a car wash every week, but he didn't drive it.
We would
But-
drive it to like special events.
Yeah. Now that that's gone, he got rid of that. Like, it's
Maybe they're
communal.
just better at being married than us.
They've been married for almost
If I
35
came out
years.
for work and you just took my truck to work, I'd be like,
I don't think you know what to do with
I'd
yourself.
call you.
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
like, what's your problem? Like, that's my car.
Oh,
Like,
that's funny.
but yeah, so that's one. Like, you're a team, you know, like everything is, you're now one team. Now, with that, I want to tag in this idea of, with the you're a team, here's another thing that goes to that is this is the way we function is we're a team, which means every decision requires 2 yeses, but it only requires 1 no.
That's good.
Right? Thank
Yeah.
you. Yeah, for our audio listeners. No, I
like that.
was rather proud of that. But like, this is I'll get like young dudes that be like, oh, you got to ask your wife. I'm like, 100%. Like, I always, can you do this? Yeah, let me ask my wife. The reality is like, you never give me
Wait a minute.
I'm allowed to do whatever I want.
Okay, I was about to say, that is not, I had that on mine too. That is not a ask permission.
Yeah. You let
It
me
is
do
a
whatever I want.
courtesy to say, hey, do we have anything? Really, it's, hey, do we have anything going on? I'd like to do this. Of course, we have nothing going on.
Yeah.
Or we have a birthday party. Or, like it's never, can I go do this because you want me to? Or I cannot. You know what I mean? It's
Yeah,
a
I've
very
never
much.
once felt like you have to ask me permission to do anything, you know? But you're like, hey, I'm going to go do this. Are you good to have the kids tonight?
Yes.
You know? And I'm like, yeah, sure.
Yeah. It's just to touch base.
But with that, every decision we make requires 2 yeses, but to stop it only takes 1 no.
Mm-hmm.
If we're going to do something, we're both on board.
Mm-hmm.
And if one of us isn't, we don't do that thing.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And that's a big one is like, we're a team, which means we have to be in unison to do something. And if we're not in unison, we don't. And
I like it.
I think that's healthy.
Yeah.
And don't be a whiny brat when your spouse isn't on board with something. Either they know something you don't know, like they can see something you can't see, or you haven't explained it to the point where they're convinced. It's one of those 2
I
options.
don't know that you have to convince people.
No, but you're not communicating clearly enough that they understand what you're saying.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
2 yeses, only 1 no.
Okay, to tag off of that, kind of. One of mine was don't expect things to just work out. So if you, like, let's say that you're talking about something and you're a yes and your husband's a no or vice versa. Don't expect it to always be a no. Like you said, you're going to have a conversation about it, to communicate about it, whether that be finances, you're wanting to buy something and they're not sure, or routines, you're wanting to go do this or start doing this and they're not sure about it. Expectations, if you're expecting things to change and it's not, or whatever, like, don't expect it to just, it'll buff out. Like, you're going to have a conversation about it.
Well, there have even been times where, like, whether it's you or me, I'll use me because I've come to you and said, I want to do this. And you're like, I don't want to do that. And we talk about it, and eventually it settles on, I want to do this because I just really want to. And you just go, okay. Yeah, like you let me, but we had to have a conversation about that. And there's times I've we've gone forward with something that maybe I wasn't on par about, but I care about you and you really want to do this. And so we're going to make it happen. You know, not everything's your favorite, but we have to have conversations about that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and it's not something that, like, means that if you do say no, it's going to be no forever. It could just, like you said, be a conversation where maybe you need to give more information. And if you were to just let that go and just forget about it and let it sit and dwell and fester, then you're going to be upset about it forever.
Yeah. And you say, why? I think that's the question that irritates you the most with me is I'll be like, I think we should do this, or I want to do this. And you go, no. And I go, why? And like, I can see you get angry when I do it, but I genuinely like, okay, I want to know your reason why.
You have to have a reason why.
You don't always have a reason. Sometimes you're just like, I just don't like it.
No, I'm sure I always have a reason why. I just don't want to tell you.
Well, every time you say, I just don't like it, I'm like, that's not a good enough reason.
Yeah, and then
why.
as you pick and press, there usually is a reason.
Yeah.
Most of the time, I'm just not wanting to talk about it.
And most of the time, if you will give me a reason why, I'll go, okay.
Okay.
Yeah. I just want a reason, you know? But you have to, it's not one of those like, just by, you have to talk about it,
Mhm.
and we talk about it with this idea of like, it's not me against you. We're on the same team,
Yeah.
but I really want to know why. And, we're
Yeah.
going to move forward from there. Okay. I have one.
Okay.
You can't change them. You just can't. But you guys will change.
Yeah.
A lot of people, and I notice it more with women marrying men, they have this mentality that they're going to change this man. And ladies, I'm sorry, it's just not going to happen. Uh, the person you married is who they are. And it's just, there's several things that you probably have tried to or wanted to change about me over the years. And it's just who I am.
He
But
will never be quiet.
no,
Just kidding.
I won't. Yeah. And, and I'm stubborn.
Yeah.
And that's part of like who I am. I try and fight against it, but it's who I am. There's things that like I have a tendency to try and do things that are edgy or dangerous.
Mhm.
You know, it's who I am, and it's tempered some as I've gotten older. But you can't change them. That's not going to happen. But you guys both will change as you get married. It's just not going to be what you want them to do. You are not the same person I married 10 years ago.
Mhm.
And I am not the same person you married 10 years ago.
Yeah.
And part of some of that's because we got married very young. And so we grew up together.
We grew up together.
We raised each other. But all the time I'll see marriages that are close to ending and they're like, that's just not the person I married. Yeah, go figure.
Yeah.
You're also not the person they married.
Mhm.
And so part of marriage is understanding that as you guys grow together, your spouse is going to change.
Mhm.
And you have to be willing to change with them and adapt with them and love them for not just who they are now, but who they're going to be down the road.
And for who they were when you fell in love with them.
Yeah.
I mean,
there are still pieces of you that are the person I married,
mhm.
but there are also parts of you that are vastly different,
Mhm.
and I love those parts about you too. But if I just held on to the idea of this is who I married, this is who I want you to be, we wouldn't make it,
Yeah. I like it.
Now you're angry. You yell at me.
I'm not angry.
You're not angry. But that's,
And I really don't yell.
I don't know.
ever.
That's married man humor. Oh, my wife.
Okay, I have one. I think I kind of mentioned this in a previous podcast episode when we were. I don't remember what the title was, but not venting to people about your marriage. Like, just be very mindful of who you're talking.
Don't talk bad about your spouse to other people.
Like, girls, we hang out with each other and we have girls' nights. And if you don't, you should get a group of girls that you have girls' nights with because
guys do that
nice.
too at the gym.
Yeah. But to take a mental note of like, one, who you're surrounding yourself with, and also like be aware of what you're putting out about your husbands. And I'm sure vice versa. But just be careful with what you're saying about your spouse and to not degrade them when you're.
Here's the thing with that. So, for instance, with us, all your friends are my friends, and all my friends are your friends. And if I say something negative about you to them, I will get over the problem and move on. But now I have painted you in a light that they're going to remember. And every time they look at you, they're going to think about the negative things I've said about you.
Correct.
I'm shaping how they see you. And even though I move on with it, that stays in their mind.
Well, and not only that, like I just view it as like the one person that I love the most in the world, and I could be painting you in a bad light to people.
And I think it shapes the way that you see your spouse. If all I do, I ran into this like last year. I was in the sauna at the gym, and there's all these older dudes in the sauna with me, and we're all sitting there, and all these dudes they're divorced, and all of them, they're either divorced or they're gonna be divorced soon, and they're all just talking bad about their spouse, like, oh, my wife does this, and I was just sitting there listening to it, and I told them, I was like, guys, I can't agree. Like, my wife is awesome. Like, I love my wife. And they're like, yeah, well, you just wait until. I'm like, I don't think so. Like, no, my wife's great. It sounds like you guys got bad wives. Like, and part of that is the more I talk bad about you, it's going to shape my idea of who you are. It's that We become what we contemplate.
Well, not only that, but when you are sharing this information with people, you're also getting feedback from these people, whether it be good or bad. You're getting another person's input
And people who like to complain about their spouses are going to give you bad advice.
and it sticks in your head.
Yeah.
You
Now,
know?
there's a flip side of this, which is like I have one or two buddies that we talk about our
Well,
wives.
of course.
And,
That's what we're
and
talking
there's
about.
always going to be like, we joke, like, we'll do
Absolutely.
something like, yeah, well, all right, let's see what your wife thinks about that.
Yeah.
Like we know we annoy our wives. We joke about it. We know our wives are irritated at us sometimes, but all of those guys love their wives too.
Right.
And we're not going to just sit and trash our wives.
Right.
We're not going to do
and there's
that.
a difference between venting to your close, tight-knit circle of friends, and people you're friends with.
Like we'll interact with couples sometimes where every time we get together, they're just complaining about each other. And we'll even be like, I don't think they like each other. I'm like, I would be miserable.
Mhm.
You go to dinner, a bunch of couples, and there's one couple that's just like passive aggressively insulting each other to the whole table the whole night. And you're like, that's exhausting. Like,
Yeah.
why do you want that? No, I don't want that.
I will say for me, it's a little more serious not to talk about you because you are my friend's pastor.
Sure.
So for me, I remember I was sitting at a girls' event and we were all talking and some people were venting and it was fine. But in my head, I went to say something and I was like, I'm about to talk about their pastor.
I mean, you can tell them how I am.
No, I know.
I tell them how I am.
I know you do. But again, it goes with the whole idea of you are my spouse.
Yeah.
And I need to watch what I say in front of people, and especially people who you pastor and I don't know. So.
I get it. Yeah, talk good about your spouse when other people are around. And all of a sudden you'll think better about them.
But you should have one or two people that you can go to for advice in situations that you need to.
If I spend an hour
newlywed.
telling somebody how awesome you are, when I come home, I love you more.
Mm-hmm.
Because our words become something. And
Yeah.
I will come home and be like, I do love her. Like, talk good about,
I had to talk myself into loving my wife.
If that's what it takes, do it. Talk yourself into loving your wife. But talk to her,
Yeah.
Okay, you want me to do another one?
Sure.
All right, this is the one that everybody talks about it, but I have a twist. And it's whenever your spouse is going through a problem, you need to discern whether they are wanting to solve the problem or just talk about the problem. And we always talk about women want to talk about the problem. Men want to solve the problem, right? All the time. And so when we first got married, you would tell me about problems you're having, and I would start coming up with solutions to them. I was like, well, you need to say this, you need to do this. And then you would be mad at me all of a sudden.
Mm-hmm.
And I was so confused every time. Like, what are you? I'm helping you.
Right.
You brought me a problem. Well, you're a venter. You just want to process it out loud. And when you give me a problem, I'm trying to solve them.
Mm-hmm.
And so I had to learn often when you talk to me now, I won't give any solutions until you say, what do you think? I'll just wait. Or I'll say, do you want to know what I think?
Yeah, I was going to say, a lot of times you say, are you wanting me to tell you what I think, or do you just want me to lend an ear?
Yeah.
And sometimes it's telling me what you think, and sometimes it's just, I just want you to listen to me.
And when you say, I just want you to listen to me, it's the most painful 20 minutes of my life because I see so many ways we could solve this problem and I'm not sharing them.
Yeah.
But you're capable of solving the problem. You just want to talk it out loud. I will put a flip side to this, which is the other way, which is when I have a problem, oftentimes you will want to talk about the problem, and I do not.
Mm-hmm.
I do not want to talk about the problem until I have a solution. I want to think about it. I want to come up with a solution and then do that. And so regularly I will have a problem and you'll start trying to talk to me about it. Be like, I don't want to talk about it. Right. Which is the other side. So if your spouse is a solution oriented person, you need to understand, number one, if you're solution oriented and they're not, sometimes they just want to talk about it. But also if your spouse is a solution oriented person and they don't want to talk about the problem, that's okay.
Yeah.
As long as it's not a problem affecting you guys, you have to talk about those.
Yeah.
But if it's a problem affecting them, like something at work, they may not want to talk about it. They may want to just, I ran into this. I was working on the car the other night. I ran into a problem. You're like, well, what if we, and I said, I just need a second to think about this, you know? And then I just sat there quietly on top. I was like, okay, here's what we're going to do. But if I don't have a solution, I don't want to talk about the problem.
We changed the alternator on my car the other night.
We did.
There was no argument.
Pound it.
Pound it,
I'll give it to
babe.
you. I was proud of you. You put in the work. I
Yeah,
wish
it
you
was
would have
fun.
taken off that fluffy white coat.
I was
refused.
cold, so I wore a fluffy white sweater, and he kept telling me to take it off. I was like, I don't want to take off the sweater.
You're in the engine of a car.
And
Take
I was
off
like,
the jacket.
I don't care.
You never took it off.
No,
you wore it
I
the whole
didn't
time.
want to.
It bothered me the entire time. All I kept thinking about is how hard it would be to reach in there and grab an alternator with a fluffy jacket on. But but yeah, and so that's one of the, like, men, when your wife is venting to you, she may not want solutions. She may just want you to listen. And if you give solutions, now you're going to be the problem. So stop doing that. And women, if your husband has a problem that he's dealing with, he may not want to talk about it. And that doesn't mean he's mad at you. That means he is trying to think about it. And men don't, we're solution oriented. So if we don't have a solution, we don't want to just talk about the problem.
Well, and I think it would also be safe to say that you could just have a simple little question in the very beginning of the conversation of, do you want me to say something? Do you want advice? Do you want to fix it? Or do you just want me to listen? From both sides.
Sure. Although with me, it's often I don't want you to listen. I'll walk in and be like, how was your day? Be like, this, and I just say a problem. And then you want to talk about it. I'm like, no, that's it. Like,
yeah, you don't want a question. You don't want me to listen. You don't want me to
I
fix
told you
it.
a problem I'm having.
You just
now I just need to think on it.
Yeah.
You know? And thinking about the problem when I don't have a solution makes me angry.
Yeah.
Because I need a solution, you know? And it's something that we've had to work through. All right.
Well, listen, being married is really fun.
Wait, I have one more.
Oh, okay.
Keep flirting. It's important.
Yeah.
When people get married, they stop flirting with each other. If you're married, if you're in the first year or two of your marriage, if you've been married 20 years and you've stopped doing this, flirt with your spouse. It is important. You did not stop dating them because you got married. You need to pursue them. Flirt with them. Let them know that they're attractive. Let them know that you like them.
Pinch their booty.
Pinch their butt. Men, get in that kitchen, spank your wife's butt. I'm tired of it. Come on. But like, it's important.
A little
you know?
rub of the neck.
It's keep that flame alive. You know, there's no reason why when you get married, you have to stop loving each other. You know, I flirt with you constantly because I want you to know I'm interested in you. I'm pursuing you. You're who I want.
I could get better at that.
You could. No, you've been doing a lot better.
We've had conversations.
We've had some rough conversations about it.
But yeah.
Just me screaming in the living room, I'm trying to keep the flame alive. You know? But, you know, flirt with your spouse.
Yeah.
Forever.
Even when it's hard.
Even when it's hard. Flirt with them anyway.
Yeah. Being married's not the easiest thing.
No,
it's
but
also
it is,
not the hardest thing.
It's not.
It's work.
It's work, but it's good work.
Mm-hmm.
I view it the same as like,
it's the best job you'll ever have.
when I'm building a table, I build furniture. When I'm building a table, it is hard work.
Mm-hmm.
Like you've come in there and I'm sweating. Oftentimes I'm bleeding because I've cut myself doing something. I'm covered in injuries. I'm tired. I'm exhausted. But it's a fulfilling work because when I'm done, this table is there and people admire it and I admire it and you can see the work I've put in. And that's what marriage is like. It's like, yes, there's times that you're going to bleed. There's times it's hard work, but it's so worth it because at the end you have something that brings life to your life, you know, like something that brings joy to your life. And marriage is awesome. Yeah. And there's times that it's really easy.
And
especially
there is times where it's really hard.
If it's your first 6 months of marriage, enjoy it. This is the easy time.
It is the easiest time.
But when the hard time comes, don't think that means your marriage is over. No, because guess what? If you get through that, it'll get easy again. The easiest way to not get divorced is just don't get divorced.
That's it.
Stay in it.
It
The times when
shouldn't
you
even
want to
be
get
an
divorced,
option.
yeah, we don't bring it up in conversation.
Mhm.
We do not ever, we joke about it now, like back and forth, but never once in an argument have we brought up the word divorce.
Yeah.
It is not an option. And if you just don't get divorced, then you'll never get divorced.
And you figure it out.
We figure it out. And when times are hard, we refuse to get divorced. We stay together, and then times get better again.
Mhm.
And then they get hard, and then they get better, and it's worth it. Well, our camera's doing something weird, so
We might have just lost it, but if you're still listening on the audio, thanks for listening. This was a long one, but we hope that you enjoyed it. And if you're newly married, stay married. Hey, everybody. Welcome back to the Somehow Married podcast. I'm Amanda.
do you want to try that higher? Because,
No, that was great.
well, okay.
I
Well,
think it was great, but now I have to do it
yeah, now you
again.
got to do it again. All right, go ahead.
Okay.
Hey, everybody. It's the Somehow